Welcome to this Central Florida hidden gem that most Floridians have never even heard of.
Even though this place is only 30-some miles from the award-winning beaches that this area of Florida is known for, it's completely different from those tourist-filled beach towns, and not in a bad way.
Now, in this video, we're going to be showing you why this little-known area of Florida is an off-the-beaten-path destination worth visiting.
And by the way, we're Jamie and Skylar, and that hidden Florida gem we're referring to is Wimauma. Located just to the east of Tampa Bay, Wimauma has one of the most underrated, untouched state parks in all of Florida, and we'll be showing you everything that has to offer in a little bit.
My heart is pounding.
This gator over here totally just freaked me out.
But first, we're heading into town to grab some breakfast from a bakery unlike any other we've shown you on this channel.
We've made it to our breakfast spot here at Garcia's Bakery, the very first traditional Mexican bakery we've taken you to on this channel. Now, Garcia's has been a staple of Wimauma for over 30 years, and we're gonna show you why this is a can't miss spot for breakfast.
When you walk into Garcia's, you'll find a small menu on the wall, a corner full of freshly baked traditional Mexican cakes, breads, and pastries, a counter to order your food, a bunch of Mexican snacks, and seating off to the side. And while the inside of Garcia's may be modest, the food certainly is not. On this visit, we ordered a chorizo and egg taco, a cactus taco, a chicken and mole taco, and a pumpkin empanada. Before we knew it, our order was ready, and we had the fuel we needed for an exciting day of old Florida adventure.
So we just got done with breakfast at Garcia's Bakery, and it did not disappoint. We loved all three of the tacos, but we both agreed that our favorite was that chicken mole, but we were also really surprised by the cactus one. We honestly ordered it because we just wanted to know what a cactus taco tasted like, and it was really good. They offered two different kinds of salsas. Their normal salsa was a little bit spicy, and Skylar tried their really hot salsa, and he really liked that one. Now, I also have to talk about that pumpkin empanada. Now, the pumpkin wasn't too sweet, and I could tell it was real pumpkin inside, and the outside of it was kind of a mixture between a typical empanada and a pie crust. It was really good. And I can't forget to mention that those flour tortillas are made in-house, and they are fantastic. You can actually just go there to buy their flour tortillas. Next, we're heading just a few miles south to get out on the water.
If you head west out of Wimauma and south down 301, you'll soon reach our next destination, the Canoe Outpost.
Jamie said that from her research on this place, you actually used to be able to stay in this bus. Unfortunately, it's been retired though.
In addition to this pretty cool bus, as you'd expect, the Canoe Outpost also has lots of canoes and a bunch of kayaks. But it also has an office with snacks and souvenirs, restrooms and showers, and a friendly cat. After paying for our kayak rental at the office, we made our way down towards the water, where the staff showed us a bit of what to expect along our paddle before grabbing our kayak and sending us down the river.
So as you can see, my legs are fully extended here. This double kayak is actually really comfortable.
I'm feeling pretty good too.
Jamie says she's comfortable too.
Yeah.
The river is like glass this morning. It's extremely calm. There's not a cloud in the sky. Just very peaceful. I think we're gonna love this paddle.
Yeah. Now this paddle is about 6 miles downstream. They say it usually takes around 2.5 hours. It's probably gonna take us a little bit longer because we're taking our time to film, and we're just kind of letting the current take us. Now, I was a little bit nervous to paddle on this river. My heart is pounding. Because it is considered a black water river, so I was worried that we wouldn't be able to see what's in the water at all. But there are some areas that are quite clear, and it's more of a tea color.
Now, those of you who are at all familiar with our channel probably know that oftentimes I do the majority of the paddling. This time though, I think I might just sit back and relax because Jamie is doing a great job, and I'm kind of enjoying just sitting here taking in the views. So from our research, we know that it is really common to see birds, fish, turtles out here, and occasionally alligators. The staff though made it sound like it's probably pretty likely we'll spot a gator. Apparently they've seen around 5 or so juvenile gators on this river lately. They also said that we might actually see a manatee or two. Apparently they've spotted a few of them recently as well.
Now the staff at the canoe outpost do make this pretty easy. Before we even got into this kayak, they had a whole book with pictures letting us know, okay, about an hour in, here's what you're gonna see, or here's where you're gonna enter the state park, here's where you can get out and use the restroom. It was great, so we know exactly what to expect.
Now they said the river is at pretty much normal depth today, but as you can probably see, we are kind of getting hung up on this section. So I'm guessing that during the times when the river is actually lower than normal, there'd definitely be spots where you'd have to get out and pull or carry your kayak.
Now, as Skylar did mention earlier, the water is incredibly calm today, so the reflection of the sky and the trees is really beautiful.
Now it is abnormally cool here this morning. I think it got down to 45 overnight and is probably in the lower mid 50s right now. And as a result, it sounds like if we do see gators, they're likely going to be somewhere along the banks soaking up the sun, trying to stay warm. Now we have paddled on a lot of spring-fed rivers, and that water definitely looks a little bit nicer because it doesn't have the tannins in it. But I will say that those springs always have people on them, whereas this one, we appear to be the only ones out here right now, and all you can hear is the birds. And Jamie's saying watch out every time we get close to a tree branch.
Which is often.
So we are currently stuck on a sandbar. We've been paddling for about 20 minutes, and I think this is already the 3rd time we've been stuck, but with my help, we have always been able to get out of it without actually leaving the kayak. So we've lived in Florida for around 12 years now, and the entire time we've been within less than an hour of Wimauma. Yet we'd never even heard of this place until a few months ago when we spoke with a local who told us about all the great Mexican food trucks in the town. Now that alone was enough to make us want to visit, but then we did a little bit more research. We found out about this paddle on the Little Manatee River as well as the state park, and we knew it was our type of place. So if you're wondering about the price of this activity, this double kayak rental cost us $55 for at least 2.5 hours of entertainment. We started our paddle at around 9:30, and you can take all day if you want. I think the last pickup is 3 or 4 o'clock. 5 o'clock, Jamie says. So that means you could be out on this river for around 8 hours for only $55. And in my opinion, that is a steal. Now they do have both sit in and sit on top double kayaks. We went with the one that you sit in because they said it's more comfortable and it's very stable. We have not felt like we're in any danger of tipping over despite all of the sandbars Jamie's been running us into. So this is currently sandbar number 4 that we've gotten hung up on, I think. Is that right, Jamie?
I think so.
She got us off the last one by herself, but this one isn't going so well.
I'm not even moving. You're gonna have to help me out.
We'll see. I think you got to try a little harder. Oh, look at that.
Oh no, but I got water on my pants.
You got this, Jamie.
I got us free from that one.
She did.
That one wasn't too bad.
No.
Now, I do want to mention that if both of us were focused on like paddling and navigating, we wouldn't get stuck on those sandbars.
Now the canoe outpost is open from 9 to 5 and they operate 7 days a week other than a few holidays, and they also actually do night paddles 1 day out of the month. We also just learned that the canoe outpost has another location to the north of here in Apollo Beach, and you may just see us doing that paddle on this channel in the future as well. Now in case you're wondering what this paddle would look like from the view from a paddleboard higher up, here it is. Now, most paddleboards that you see nowadays are inflatable, including ours, and we both kind of agreed that we probably wouldn't want to take an inflatable paddleboard down this river just because there are so many sharp sticks sticking up, and there's just a lot of potential to puncture your paddleboard, whereas a hard plastic kayak like the one we're in right now is pretty much indestructible. You can hit as many sticks as you want to, and Jamie has definitely been putting it to the test.
So in researching this paddle, we did learn some interesting facts about this river. First, even though it does have that brown tint to it, it's known to be pretty clean and low on pollutants. And it's one of the few rivers in Florida that hasn't been significantly altered by dredging or mining, so it meanders around quite a bit naturally.
So by now I think we're about a mile or so into this paddle, And all we've seen for animals is a few birds. I think Jamie's fine with that because I know she's nervous about seeing gators. I would actually love to see a gator or two though. I know we would also both love to see some manatees, but I think the section of the river we've been paddling in so far is too shallow for them. Hopefully it'll get a little bit deeper as we go further down. Now, if you're wondering how you get back to the launching point, they do have shuttles that go to the takeout point every hour. I think the first one is at 1 o'clock and the last one is at 5.
We just spotted our first turtle and it's a big one. Just out sunning himself. That sun feels really nice actually.
Now as we're getting a little bit further down the river, it is starting to widen up a little bit and it does seem to be getting a little bit deeper as well. Now, if you've been enjoying this video so far and are already thinking that you'd love to spend some time in Wimauma, but one day just wouldn't be enough, the Canoe Outpost actually rents campers as well as 1 and 2 bedroom cabins. Now, we live in the area, so this is just a day trip for us, but if you happen to be from out of town, we would definitely recommend looking into those.
This area does seem to be pretty shallow again, but I think we're heading into deeper waters.
So we just spotted another turtle over there. That brings our total animal count up to 4 turtles and more birds than we can count. We're probably about an hour and a half into the paddle now, and we are just seeing the first other people on the river. It looks like they're paddling upstream. So we just spotted our first gator right there. You can probably just see the top of it. They told us that any gator that we spotted would likely be small, but that one looks pretty big. But I know Jamie is ready to get away from this guy, so we're gonna go on our way.
So we made it to the first area in the state park where we can get out at. Now the guide said there wasn't much here except for a restroom, so I think we're gonna keep going on our way.
Now I did read online that this river is pretty good for fishing, and I believe you can catch bass and bluegill in it. Another thing we learned about the Little Manatee River is that it is a rain-fed river. Its source is around 40 some miles from here in Fort Lonesome, Florida, and it flows around 50 miles total before emptying into Tampa Bay.
It is so quiet out here right now. We were actually a little concerned that we would be cold on this paddle, but it has been perfect. So we just passed a sandbar area where you can pull up your kayak or canoe and walk into the state park. I believe that's another area where you can use the restroom and go and actually walk around some of the trails. We're not going to do that now, but we might make it back there later this afternoon.
Well, we just about doubled our turtle count and we got a huge gator over there. Can you see that? I think we'll be able to turn right and avoid him, but if he doesn't move, we'll be able to show you a really good shot of him, I think.
All right, I guess we're going over that direction towards that gator. I'm not looking forward to it.
So far, our gator friend here doesn't seem to be afraid of us at all. That one's a little bit smaller, I think, than the last one we saw. It's maybe 6 foot long, but it's definitely not small. Hey, buddy. He wants nothing to do with us. He's also not the least bit afraid of us either, though. We're definitely in his territory.
I am definitely more afraid of him than he is of me. That's for sure.
Yes, I would agree with that.
It looks like a gator tail.
Gotta be,
It's gotta be one like in the water. Oh yeah, I think it is.
Gator number
man.
3.
We can't stay on this side?
No,
Oh, there's a gator over there.
we're gonna turn sharp right here.
Okay.
So we did just spot our third gator. I think Jamie got a little bit of footage of it before it went underwater, but we didn't get too close to this one, although it might be somewhere right underneath us right now, who knows. Now, Wimauma is located right on the edge of a major citrus producing area here in Florida, and as a result, it does have a lot of migrant workers living in it, and I think I actually read that the population is over half Hispanic, so it comes as no surprise that they have some amazing Mexican restaurants, but I believe they have a couple Puerto Rican restaurants as well. We have yet to visit either of those, but I do believe one of them is supposed to be open today. And they also surprisingly have an amazing Thai food truck that's actually located outside of the city in a rural area. Unfortunately, that food truck is closed today, but we would highly recommend it if it is open when you're visiting.
Please keep paddling. Oh my God, Skylar.
That guy frickin' came out of nowhere. We got way closer to him than we were planning on for sure.
You guys, this gator over here totally just freaked me out because we came around this corner. I was recording, Skylar was focusing on paddling.
I didn't even see it, and Jamie just starts yelling, "Oh my God, oh my God." I'm like, what?
And this gator,
yeah, that thing was like 2 feet away from us.
he was just staring at us, maybe even straight into the camera.
They said most people have been seeing 3 to 5, and
Yeah.
I think that was number 4 for us, so
That was number 4.
maybe one more. Hopefully that's the closest encounter we have with the gator.
Yeah, yeah.
That one was even a little bit too close for comfort for me. I think the gator is unfazed. He seems pretty comfortable, just enjoying the sun. See you later.
It turns out that was the last gator we'd see on this day, and I was 100% okay with that. And we did still spot some more birds, some more turtles, a raccoon on the beach, and an otter, which we unfortunately weren't quick enough to catch on camera.
So I'm guessing we're probably in the last mile or 2 of this paddle. It continues to be just perfect weather. The river's really starting to open up quite a bit here in the last half mile or so. It's getting really wide, a lot less obstacles to avoid, and much deeper as well. We've seen 4 alligators now, probably 20 turtles, more birds than we can count. The only thing left that we're hoping to see is a manatee. I don't know if we'll get that lucky today, but if we're gonna see one, I think it's gonna be in this deeper water. Now, we were told that when we start to see a bunch of campers, then we're getting close to the end, and we are definitely seeing a lot of campers, so that means we're almost done, and I know Jamie's happy about that because she's getting hungry. This camper's got a good guard dog.
We made it. Skylar must have stepped in an anthill.
I definitely stepped in an anthill. After an awesome 6.5 mile paddle, we made it to the pickup point just in time to catch the 1 o'clock shuttle and get taken back to the outpost. Now we're ready to go find some food because we are starving.
We have made it to our spot for lunch. That paddle actually did work up an appetite and we are very hungry. Now, if you have watched our channel for a while now, then you already know that we have been to Puerto Rico a few times and absolutely love the food there. So we were really excited to find out that Wimauma has 2 really good rated Puerto Rican spots and we're gonna try one of them out for lunch.
We are really digging the atmosphere at this place. They only have outdoor seating, but they have a lot of it and it's all covered. Plus it's such a beautiful day, we actually prefer to be dining outside. They also have a bunch of tropical plants and even have some Puerto Rican music playing. Now, if only they had some wild chickens running around here, we'd really feel like we were back in Puerto Rico.
So we ordered chicken garlic stuffed mofongo and pulled pork bori parias, along with some fresh passion fruit juice. Oh yeah, that's good.
Now I can already tell you that this mofongo passes the looks test. It looks every bit as good as any mofongo we had in Puerto Rico, but we'll see how it compares in taste. So some mofongos we've had is a little bit on the drier side. This is definitely not, and is covered in this amazing garlic sauce. This may not be the very best mofongo ever, but it's top 2 or 3 for sure. It is great.
So I don't know what to compare that to. The bottom part here, it's mashed green bananas and it's fried. It's really good with this pulled pork. Whatever the green sauce on top here is really good too.
Is it kind of like banana bread?
No? Yeah, I don't know. It's so unique. You're just gonna have to try it for yourself.
We both had high expectations for Chef Nieves, but that experience definitely exceeded them. And we are not done having great Latin food here in Wimauma, but before we eat more, we gotta burn off some calories. And for that, we're gonna hit the trails.
The state park in Wimauma is $5 per vehicle. The various ecosystems within the park can be explored via hiking trails, paddling, riding horses, as well as camping.
We decided to come back out to Little Manatee State Park because even though we explored a little bit of it on the river earlier today, we wanted to check it out on land because this is a massive park with a bunch of trails. Now across the road here is where you would launch your own paddleboard or kayak, but here in the park they don't have a shuttle, so you'll either have to paddle downstream and then come back upstream or vice versa. Now earlier today when we were paddling, we did point out this area here and we had just seen our first alligator of the day. This one's supposed to be an easy hike. I don't think this one is long at all, but it is a sandy trail.
Very sandy and very sunny.
Yeah.
There's not a cloud in the sky today.
I honestly didn't think we were gonna be this hot today.
I think it's only probably like 75 degrees, but the sun is very warm.
Yeah.
Now, I can't say for sure because we hadn't been out to this park prior to the most recent hurricanes, but I'm guessing a lot of these downed and bent trees are a result of Milton. Jamie spotted something. She said an armadillo just crossed. From left to right or right to left?
Right now.
All right, let's see if we can find this thing. Yeah, he's scurrying around somewhere back there.
We can definitely hear him rustling around back there, but we can't see him right now. All right, I think we gotta keep going. I don't think he's coming back this way.
So around a mile or so into our paddle today, we had only spotted a couple of turtles and a bunch of birds, and we were starting to think that we just weren't going to see many animals today. But after that, we spotted 4 alligators, Jamie saw an otter, we saw a raccoon, a snake, a bunch more birds and turtles, and within only about 2 minutes of being on this trail, Jamie spotted an armadillo. Unfortunately, we didn't catch the armadillo on camera, but overall it's been a great day in terms of animal spottings. So the trail that we hopped on here at the park did eventually lead us back down to the river where we were just paddling a few hours earlier. Now I should mention that when those guys came to pick us up at the end of the paddle, they did tell us that the river was down a little bit from normal, which definitely helps explain why we got hung up so many times on sandbars. Now it sounds like the river could be even lower and there could be times where you'd actually have to get out of your paddle craft and pull it across the sandbar. Thankfully we never had to do that, but if the river was more at its normal level, we probably never would have gotten hung up at all. So after a few minutes of hiking on this trail, we came across another pavilion, but this one is actually screened in, which would be really great, especially if you want to have a picnic out in the fresh air, but be out of the sunlight and also protected from the bugs. In addition to being screened in, this pavilion actually has functioning lights and ceiling fans. It also has outlets and grills right outside of it. We are really impressed by this one.
Right next to that pavilion is another kayak launch area, although this one would be a lot more challenging to get to because you have to hike down a long trail with your paddlecraft. Skylar had to go in and test out the water. How's it feel?
Really sandy. It doesn't feel muddy at all.
Skylar says it feels really good, but he's not getting me in there. Not after seeing all them gators today.
If I had my swim trunks on, I would probably get all the way in.
No. Yes.
Yeah, whisper into the mic.
Oh my God, it was a deer.
It hurt us.
It ran away really fast.
That's cool. That's the first like real sized deer I've seen in Florida, I think.
Yeah.
All the ones we see like on the side of the road are like the size of a dog.
Yeah. No, that was like a legit normal sized deer.
Pretty cool.
I know, I can't believe we saw a deer that large out here on these trails.
I don't remember seeing this many animals in one day outside of a zoo.
Oh, and that reminds me, we're visiting here in March, which is definitely spring break season out on the beach.
Yeah, if we were out on the beach right now, it would be crazy packed with people. And here in Wimauma, I think we've seen more animals than people today.
Oh my gosh, you can see where it ran. Look.
Oh yeah.
So we're tracking this deer right now. It is long gone.
It looks like it did stick to the trail though.
Wait, here? Maybe?
Did it go off right here? Maybe, yeah.
It must have went right through here.
Oh yeah. So now that we've spotted an armadillo and a deer out here, I think the only things left that we still need to see are a manatee and the skunk ape.
I don't know if the skunk ape gets this far north.
Oh, it's out here. I've seen its tracks.
After exploring some more of the trails, it was time to find a place for dinner. And we had plenty of options to choose from, including Taqueria Don Julio's. This was another great spot with covered, open-air seating.
Now, even though we did spend a couple of hours walking around at that park, we're honestly still not that hungry, but that's not gonna stop us from trying some more delicious Wimauma Mexican food. So we ordered 4 burrito tacos. We're just gonna share them because we actually still have one more food spot to take you to after this.
So we have had burrito tacos at quite a few places before, but we have never had sauce that is this thick and full of meat. Yeah, that is fantastic. The meat is tender and juicy. The shell is crispy. Overall, a great taco.
I agree with Jamie. These tacos are fantastic. They do come with 2 different sauces, but I don't think I'm going to use either of them because they're so good with just the dipping sauce. Now, I should warn you, these tacos are extremely messy, but they are absolutely worth getting messy for.
Now, many of you probably already know that I like to end our day trips with ice cream, and we're gonna do just that here in Wimauma at this place right behind me.
While this place did have a lot of ice cream, it also had popsicles, fruit drinks, chips, and a bunch of other snack foods.
There were so many things on this menu. A lot of them we didn't even know what they were. It was awesome, but a little bit overwhelming. Now we landed on this, which is a bionico with ice cream. So inside here, there's strawberries, a green apple, a banana, and they're covered in a sauce that tastes a little bit like cream cheese. And then we got a scoop of ice cream, and we went with strawberry cheesecake. And as we were checking out, Skylar decided that he needed a churro, so I guess we're getting one of those too. Now this is really good. I love that there's so much fresh fruit in here, but honestly, we did not need something this big, but I guess we're gonna have to eat it.
Now, those of you who watched our Spain series will know that we spent the better part of 2 or 3 days trying to find churros there, only to eventually find out that they're primarily only eaten in the mornings there. But here, I am happy to let you know that you can get a churro in the evening. Good churro. Now, since you stuck around to the end of this video, we're hoping that means you enjoyed spending the day with us here in Wimauma. And if you want to join us on our adventures exploring many more Florida hidden gems, be sure you're subscribed to our channel if you're not already. Thanks for watching.